Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Rush Racing League Division number 5 here in the penultimate round in Canada. We're heading to Montreal here to go ahead and put in a valiant effort to go ahead and bolster every bit of standings humanly possible, whether it's for your Drivers' Championship, your Constructors' Championship, or the overalls. Penultimate round here today, so everything should be a fun one here. My name is Patrick Goldman, aka Rekus, and I'll be your host and commentator for today's GP. And it's going to be a fun one indeed. This track is a track that takes no prisoners. It is a very narrow circuit. Overtaking opportunities are only here and there. There's only a few good spots here. But track limit violations are going to be the name of the game. They're going to be the number one thing you want to avoid here because it can be very, very easy. And without any further ado, we're just going to go ahead and fire this thing trackside here real quick. And then we're going to go ahead and jump straight into it as we are loading into the session. Full 20 driver grid here tonight. And it's going to be a blast. Canada is a track I've always liked. It was a track I was never good at, but it is a track I have always enjoyed. So we'll just kind of have to see how this one all plays out here in Division number 5. In terms of the championship has been decided quite a while ago here in Div 5. Dutch Verstappen is your Div 5 champion, so that championship has already been settled here. The battle for P2 though is still up for grabs, as we do have a Kick Sauber now entering the track. We do have a driver who's going by the name of a Male Boy. We're going to call him Male just for short. He's going to go ahead and make his way through this Canadian GP circuit. The battle for P2 is still up for grabs here in the Drivers' Championship, with only 2 points separating Aardvark and Greedo, which Aardvark will be able to increase his lead, it appears. Actually, no, neither one of them will, because neither one are actively in the session right now, so we'll just have to see how the rest of this one goes. In the Constructors, taking a look at the Constructors, there is still a slight potential for Alpine to get the win in this championship. It would have to be, it's pretty likely that Mercedes will clinch the Constructors Championship here in Div 5. And then, other than that, it's pretty much just all eyes turning towards the overalls. Because the overalls are the big championship here, and it's going to require effort from all 6 divisions to see who can win the overalls. So after the last round in Spain, we do have an updated graphic here, and it is getting pretty red hot as Male goes to the first sector of this Canadian GP circuit. Aston Martin does lead the overalls with 1,700 points even, followed by McLaren 40 points behind. Ferrari at 1606, and then it is Alpine, Williams, Mercedes, Red Bull, Kick Sauber, VCarb, and Haas, the team looking to break into the 1,000 points marker. So now, Male is going to go and make his way down this final stretch of road here, making his way to the final chicane, which the final chicane can really be a tricky one for track limit violations if you get it wrong. So beautifully done there by the Sauber. He's going to go ahead and jump up into P1 to kick things off with our first lap time of a 1:12.086. We're probably going to see some times in the 11s before we even know it. But yeah, things are really heating up here in Rush for the final 2 rounds of the season. It is going to be an absolute doozy here, folks. So if it is your first time, don't make it your last. Go ahead and drop a follow here. Check us out on YouTube as well, Rush Racing 09. And go ahead and you can watch all these races back, as Abhishek does get a bit of a tow from his teammate. And he'll come across the line to go ahead and jump up into P1 with a 1:11.3. So actually, it's looking pretty likely that we might even see a 1:10 here at some point. So a lot of drivers still out on laps here at the moment. Kumar is going to be the next one. Actually, he's invalidated his lap, so we'll go to Husey, who has just started his lap here. So, I mean, it's getting really spicy in the overalls here. And I think that's where a lot of drivers and teams are really kind of just turning their attention towards. I mean, the Drivers' Championship is already locked out for this division, with Dutch Verstappen winning that title a couple rounds ago. Mercedes still hasn't officially clinched the Constructors' Championship. It's going to come down to the wire here. It may go to China, depending on how Mercedes and Alpine do respectively, but right now it is looking pretty likely that we will see Mercedes crowned as the Constructors' Champs. But even then, even if they get the double here in Div 5 with the Drivers and the Constructors' Championship wrapped up, they still got to fight for the overalls. In which right now in the overalls they are currently in 6th. They are currently 194 points behind Aston Martin. Aston Martin looking pretty strong to win as Husey jumps up to the top of the timetable. So a very good lap from him. And I mean, once again, there's still just so much to play for here in the overalls. And talking with the drivers from Div 1 the other night, that's pretty much where a lot of drivers are kind of putting their focus is towards the overalls, trying to go in and bolster their positions in the overalls to the best of their ability. As Symphonic now jumps up to the top of the table with a 1:10.083, so a 109 is now looking very, very likely here at the Canadian GP. It's a very quick track. It's easy to get tracked on the fence too, as we've just seen from Asif. And now we have Daz making his way. Actually, Daz has got penalties as well, so we'll jump on board with the Houston native of H-Town, running the chrome McLaren livery as he makes his way through Sector 1. Looking to get his first time on the board here tonight. And we'll see how good of a time that will be at the moment. Right now, our entire field encompassed by about 2 seconds, almost 3 seconds here on the night. And I mean, once again, this is going to be a fun one. There's some good spots where you can attempt an overtake. In terms of actually good overtaking spots, they're kind of few and far between. So you really gotta, I mean, you pretty much just gotta go all in for this one. So we do have some reserves here tonight. The entirety of the, actually correction, not the entirety of the Red Bull team. We do have Mail reserving in for Sauber. David jumps in for Red Bull, and Salmons to jump in for Mercedes, as well as Milano jumping in for, actually Milano and Moe Nabs jumping in for Aston Martin. Husey, or no, sorry, H-Town and Abhishek for McLaren and V-Car respectively. Dona Gorilla jumping in for Ferrari as well. And yeah, it's going to be a very, very, very fun night here, as we do have a lot of drivers reserving in for tonight. But it's still going to be just everybody just giving it everything. We're going to have on board now with Kumar. We'll see if he can match his teammate here. He had some track violations earlier that did shut down some laps that he attempted. And I think for Haas, like, the main thing they need to worry about is trying to get to the quadruple digits in terms of Constructors points this season. They want to try to get to the 1,000 mark before the end of the season. That is going to be their primary goal. They currently need about 47 points to be able to do that, so they're going to try. It's actually, we're going to see Kumar get a bit of a draft coming up behind the V-Carb there. And he's going to make his way across the line now. We'll see where does he stack up to his teammate. Well, he jumps up into P4, about a second off, but still a very good starting position for Haas. If they can keep it, now he gets demoted to P5. Now jumping on board with David, who is about to finish his first lap. We'll see where the Red Bull TP ends up. He's just got this final chicane, which is always, it's a tricky chicane, mostly for track limit issues. And he will jump up into P12. And then we have a few other drivers who have yet to set time. Nishka now making his way through sector number 1 into sector 2. So it's gonna be a fight here. We'll see how Williams can do. The Williams turnaround has been absolutely spectacular to watch this season. The Alpine turnaround as well. Both teams having a fantastic second half of the season. And Alpine has been on a pretty decent run of form as of late. They won Team of the Week for the last 2 weeks. So Alpine really making a late season surge here to try to jump up into the top position of the overalls. They are currently in 4th, about 104 points behind. So Ferrari and Alpine have a potential to swap positions after this week, and I mean, once again, that's all pretty much just fair game. Here as Nishka comes across the line, he'll jump up into P6. And into P6, the Williams driver will go. Let's check in with a driver representing the current overall leaders of Aston Martin. And just to remind everybody, it is full quality tonight, so we will have our 3 qualifying stages. So we will have our top 5, our bottom 5 getting eliminated at the end of this one. Moinabs does that time, good enough for P8. And then we have Wintercat going ahead and trying to make his way through. He's coming to the wall of champions now, coming through that very tricky hairpin. And he's going to go for it. He's going to go ahead and punch it. Coming out of here, the 2 Alpines and Asif being the only drivers who have yet to set a time. I know Asif actually had disconnected a bit earlier. I think someone actually joined in his place. So we'll see how that one gets sorted. But Wintercat will come across the line into provisional pole position with a 1:09.9. A very good lap time there. The first time, I think that's in the 1:09s. And then we'll see if his teammate Patrick can jump up close to him. He jumps up into 8th. And Asif will be the last one. We're going to actually take the time to try to get it back in the lobby. So we'll go ahead and try to see if we can get Asif in. I don't think I actually have him added is the tricky one. Oh, he's in? Alright. That's good to know. Anyways, it is indeed a full quality here tonight, so unlike Div 1 where we had the short quality, it is 3 different qualifying stages here tonight. So we'll just have to see who can go ahead and stay in and who will be knocked out here. Drivers currently in the drop zone are Salmons, Milano, David, Bender, and Asif. As now we have a lot of drivers here going ahead and jumping into the pits. Sam's about to come across the line. He will escape the drop zone for now. He'll move up into P6, and now H-Town will be the one who is in the danger zone. Although Mail and Abhishek are 2 drivers who still aren't exactly safe. As there's quite a few drivers, I think, if we're talking about drivers who are actively, I still think within the danger zone, you gotta look at the governor, you gotta look at Abhishek, you gotta look at Mail, because those are the 3 drivers that are likely gonna get demoted if these drivers behind have a good enough time. Donut Gorilla's gonna retire. He thinks he's safe, and honestly, that's a pretty safe assumption to make. Husey also dropping out with the final 4.5 minutes left to go in the session. So here we go. We're gonna have to go ahead and see if we'll see if Asif can set time. Nishka actually retiring, so that's a. I think he's still safe, but not as safe as some of the other guys. So we'll just have to see. I mean, once again, this whole session can turn on its head here. Abhishek now, he was going to look for an improvement, but he invalidated his left. What about Milano? Symphonic retiring. He is currently in P2. So here we go. Milano now going to go ahead and start his lap. And he just finished up lap. He'll be in P15, but still in the danger zone. So not exactly the place you want to be. Ideally, you want to be really right in the top 10 or top like 12 probably, where you're at least safe. But at the end, if you're in the top 15, you move on to stage 2. You move on to the second stage of our qualifying. But if you are P16 and below, you're out. You'll have to sit on the sidelines, grab some popcorn maybe, and just kind of relax and watch everybody else. Talk strategy with the engineer perhaps. So, I mean, ultimately, I mean, it is a good chance to kind of get ready, clear your head, and just get ready for the race up ahead. But just because you start in the bottom 5 doesn't mean you can't make a top 5 run. We've seen it before here at Rush Racing League, and I mean, it happens even in the real world. If you look at Brazil the last 2 years with Max Verstappen coming from the back of the grid to a win or a podium. We'll see if one of these drivers can replicate that. If they haven't already, we'll see. H-Town going to come across the line. His time is going to be an improvement up. Oh no, he actually has not improved, so I think that was actually a charge up lap. We'll head over to Asif, who has yet to set a lap time. Asif is now going to go ahead and try to tackle the track. He's coming through sector 2, just about to hit sector 3 with the very tight hairpin. And then he's got to be careful of the wall of champions. That has claimed a lot of tires in its entire history of this Canadian GP. Wintercat is also retired. He is at the top of the tables at the moment, so I'd say that's a pretty safe bet. So Asif now with less than 2 minutes to go. He's going to go ahead and try to get across the line. He'll try to escape the drop zone. Milano still in danger here. He'll move up to P13. Not the safest spot, but he is out of the drop zone for now. I mean, we'll see if he can go ahead and stay out of that drop zone, but it will be a difficult one. Bender now going to go to make his way through the track, and he invalidates. So he's got to recharge to get ready to go again. H-Town not improving here, so H-Town might be out in the first stage of qualifying. I mean, Milano's out, so he won't be going again. And we'll see who will be dropping him, or we'll see who will be joining him in the drop zone. It'll be unfortunate for Aston Martin, but they at least got one driver into the next stage. So we'll just see who can make it. H-Town is slowing down, so it's likely that H-Town might be out of this as well. We'll see. H-Town now trying to make an improvement here. He's got to improve by quite a bit. Yeah, so H-Town is out. He is not improving. David, does he have any improvement here? Can he make any improvements around this 4.3 kilometer long circuit? He's going to go ahead and give it everything he's got here. He's going to go ahead and make his way through turns number 6 and now making his way into the DRS zone just shortly after turn 7. And then now it's coming to 8 and 9. And I think this is the spot where we saw some drivers invalidate earlier. Mail is out. Asif is just right on the cusp there. So if David or Bender improve, then Asif is out. So we will see. David now does have an Aston Martin ahead, but he will not be any issue here. And he's going to go ahead and try to make it across the line. We'll see. It's pretty much full throttle. Bender is out. So Bender will not be continuing on. Will David move? There'll be one Red Bull out of this session. Which one will it be? It's going to be David. So we have lost David, Milano, Mail, H-Town, and Bender here in the first stage of qualifying. ACF hanging on by a thread. And then we have our top 15 going into Q2. I mean, it's been an interesting one. Some of the reserve drivers doing really, really well. Donut Gorilla reserving in. He's up in the 5th in this first session, but you got to keep that consistency up, as we have seen before here in Rush. You can get P1 in this session and get eliminated the next. I remember actually the first, or I think it might have been the third ever Div 6 race last season, where we saw a driver top the times and then got knocked out P15 the next session. So anything's possible here, as we have lost David, Milano, Mail, H-Town, and Old Footy Bender. The 5 drivers we have lost in this session. And then it'll be our top 15 moving on. And then after this, it'll be our top 10. But we still have another qualifying session to get through before we get to our top 10 shootout. There'll be less time on the clock here for our 15 gladiators taking to the arena. That is the Gilles Villeneuve circuit. And this is going to be it'll be an interesting session, because once again, the potential for somebody to get knocked out earlier than they were expecting. So Mercedes will be the team to watch, as they are the team still trying to fight for that constructors title here, and Alpine. So both drivers from both teams are in. So here we go. Who will be the first car to come out of the pits? We'll find out here momentarily. Hopefully you guys are having a good day here so far. And while we wait, we'll go and talk about this Canadian GP circuit. The first Canadian Grand Prix was held in 1961. And they've been using this track for a majority of it. So it actually used to happen in the Mosport Park, and then in recent years it has been in this specific track. It is 4.361 kilometers, 2.709 miles around, with 13 corners, and it's a very tricky, narrow street circuit here. It is a staple on the Formula One calendar. It's been for several decades now, and it's a fun one. I do enjoy this track, but I was never really good at it. Track limit violations, especially with the final 2 corners, the final chicane. That is always going to be a interesting one. I like it, but it's also very difficult. So we will see. Husey will be the first driver out on an out lap here, and he's already invalidated, so not exactly a great sign, as Abhishek is not too far behind. He might actually get a little bit of that slipstream from that McLaren. So we will see indeed how fast he can go here, as Abhishek is making his way down the start finish straight. We will jump over to Husey as he begins his first lap, and he'll set the first time of the session, making his way through the first couple of corners here on the track, and now making his way down into turns 3 and 4. There's a lot of chicanes on this track. You got obviously you got 3 and 4, and then you got 6 going into 7, and then 8 and 9, and then 12 and 13. A lot of corners that do all kind of link into each other. Now he's going down the second DRS zone. And now he's going to go ahead and make his way to the Wall of Champions shortly after the hairpin here. And then he's going to go ahead and just go ahead and make his way down what is known as the Casino Straits, which is an interesting one. He's going to go and make his way down this massive straight here. Coming up to turns 12 and 13. Now, if you go too deep in one of these, it can really just kick your laps to the curb, as usually will start the times at 1:10 to kick things off here. 1:10.4 for the McLaren driver is going to go ahead and kick things off. We'll take a look at Salmon's here in P3 at the moment. He is going to go ahead and continue his lap. Purple sector 2 for the Mercedes. We'll see if he can go ahead and keep that one up. If he can jump up into provisional pole. Mowing abs about a little under 5/10 behind. And Sandwich will jump up into P number 2. I got it right. P2. About 3/10 behind Hughesy's initial banker lap. As we do have quite a few drivers setting their initial runs here on the night. The entire field encompassed by 0.6 of a second. So Symphonic is now making his way through the track. Once again, Haas trying to score 1,000 points before season's end. That'll be their best benchmark that they could possibly hope for at this point. It's been a rough season for Haas for a good variety of factors, but just like every other team, they want to end this season off on a high note, so they're going to go ahead and try it. Symphonic will go ahead and set another provisional pole lap time here. He was at a lap time that is good for P1 at the moment. What about Quicksilver? Can Quicksilver set a quick time here? He's going to go ahead and make his way through Sector 1 and Sector 2 now, making his run down to turn number 6. It is a personal best sector for him, although it's his first lap, so not super surprising there. As he's continuing to make his way through the track, now he's going through turns 8 and 9, and then heading to the Wall of Champions. Setting some pretty good sector times here. We'll see how they all add up. Can he beat the 1:10.2 of Symphonic? We'll just have to see. And actually, Quicksilver is the only car actively on the lap here at the moment, so he's going to come through the final chicane and then make the run up to turn 1. And we'll see what his time is going to be. It's good enough for third, a 1:10.747. And we'll see about his teammate, who is currently on the lap here, as Donagurla makes his way through Sector 1, now joining Sector 2 out to turn 6 and 7. And he's going to go ahead and fire things up here. He's going to go to try to get a good run here going into the next chicane, which is turns 8 and 9. And now coming up to the hairpin. Good times here from Donut. And we will see where he ends up. He's going to go in and try to punch in and try to go to give it everything he's got here. And then coming up to the final chicane. We'll see if he can get a time close to his teammates here. It's going to be a tight one. And it'll be, actually he'll jump his teammate. Only just about a 10th and a half behind Symphonic there. We'll head on board to the V-Carb of Abhishek, as he'll be the next car to go ahead and set a lap time here. Abhishek currently sitting in 9th position, and that is exactly where he will remain. A 1:11 will be his time right now. We'll jump down a few spots to the Alpine of Patrick, who will be setting the first lap time for Alpine here in this current session in Q2 for the Canadian Grand Prix, the penultimate round of the season here, which is crazy to think we're already at the penultimate round of the season. It's been a fun season. It feels like it's just kind of gone through by the snap of a finger. It just shows you how fast time is flying here. But we'll be here for a good while. You won't have to wait too long for racing action. You're going to have to wait about a couple of months. I'm kidding. No, not that long at all. It's going to be about 2, maybe 3 weeks at the most. But Patrick is going to go ahead and make his way through the final bits of the track. Going through the massive rundown into turns 13 to 14, the final chicane. The chicane that will absolutely shred your time if you. It's probably one of the most crucial corners on the track, honestly. So Patrick is going to go ahead and make his way through. He'll come across the line in P. We'll find out in a moment. P9 here for the Alpine driver. Still kind of within that danger zone. We'll check in with his teammate of Wintercat, who has been putting in some mighty fine performances here as of late. And Wintercat is going to go ahead. I mean, he's pretty much in his element. It is winter time now in the real world. Don't know if it's going to, I doubt it reflects here on track, considering this is a summertime track, but Wintercat's going to come across the line. It's good enough for provisional pole position. A near, well, it's, okay, got some numbers mixed around, but it's a solidly in the 109s. And now we are in the second half of the session here. 6 minutes to go, as there's a few drivers yet to set a lap time. We do have Daz, who is going to go to make his way through the final couple of corners now. And then we have Dutch Verstappen, the champion of Div 5. And he's already wrapped up the championship, and now he's looking to try to confirm Mercedes as the Constructors champs of Div 5, and then also try to bolster the results in the overalls. But through that final chicane, Daz invalidates. It was through that final chicane there. He got caught out, so. Oh, and Dutch Verstappen also getting caught out as well, so a lot of drivers getting caught out by track limits, and track limits are a very crucial thing here at this Canadian GP circuit, so it's not surprising. It's still very unfortunate, but not surprising to say the least. And Kumar's going to come into the pits. Everybody pretty much just getting ready to. Oh, Kumar's actually he's calling it quits. He's retiring here, so I think he might be safe. Remember, you got to be in the top 10 to move on to the final part of qualifying, the final top 10 shootout. As Nishka will be the next driver to begin the lap. Daz has invalidated. Verstappen is actually on his next lap, so we'll actually tune in with him for a bit. As Dutch Verstappen gets on board and gets ready for his lap, making his way through sector 1, and now heading into turns number 6 and 7. And then now he's going to make the run down into turns number 8 and 9. And he's going to go ahead and try to see if he can get through without getting invalidated. Because that chicane is another one that could really invalidate your lap times too if you're not careful. Now he's coming down to the hairpin. The wall of champions is about to be passed by the Div 5 champion. As he's going to make a run down the massive DRS straight here. This is one of the best opportunities on the track to get an overtake if you can. He's going to go ahead and go hard on the brakes, and then into 13 to 14, get close to the wall on exit, and he'll jump up into P3. So the current champion jumping up into P3. We'll see about Nishka. What can Nishka do as he's coming through the final chicane himself? The Williams is going to jump up into P number 8. P8 for the Williams man. I don't know if I would say he's quite safe yet, as Daz still has yet to set time. A lot of drivers now are kind of just gearing up and getting ready for the final push. The final push to try to get in. 3 minutes to go left in Q2, and then we head into Q number 3. So we're going to see how these guys can get on with it. It's going to be a fun one here to see just how everybody goes ahead and adapts. Moe Abs now is the driver currently in the drop zone at the moment. And we'll see if he can get out of said drop zone. We have lost one Aston Martin in Q1, and we might lose another one in Q2, which wouldn't exactly be the greatest thing for the overalls on their behalf, but he looks like he's about to jump up a few positions here. He is improving here in Sector 2 by about 3.5 tenths. And he's going to go ahead and make his way through, coming down the final DRS zone. And he's going to see if he can keep it within the white lines, keep it valid. He will come across the line now. Where's he going to go? He is up in the 5th. So he is, I think he's safe there. So Moe, and he is jumping up into P5. The second Haas has retired as Kumar goes ahead and retires as well. Wintercat is out as well. He has retired, but he's got a safe time. So we'll, unless something absolutely crazy happens, we'll see him in Q3. Daz, the only driver yet to set a time here. Coming through turn number 7. Dutch Verstappen also retiring here, so the Dodgers feel pretty confident in their lap times here. And it's going to be, it looked like it was almost going to be a bit deep there. Coming into turns 8 and 9 for Daz. We'll see if he can dazzle us here with a strong lap time to get out of Q2. He's going to go ahead and try to make the run and try to go ahead and get as much time as he can to go ahead and try to win this thing, or at least win this qualifying sessions. And by his books, winning would just be getting to Q3. We'll see where he is going to go. He is up into P3, so that's a good time. He is safe for certain. But now the drop zone. It's a very dangerous drop zone here. Quicksilver currently drops out. Oh, he's invalidated, so that's going to be a bit of a rough one for the Ferraris. And we will see if he can go ahead and get that one improved, if he can go ahead and go for another lap. Final seconds on the clock here. So SJ is out. The governor will be eliminated. So we've lost one driver. We've lost both Williams here. Will we lose a Ferrari? The answer is yes. We are going to lose a Ferrari. And who else is next? So Asif and Patrick are the main ones. So Abhishek, Salmons, Asif, and Patrick are going to be the drivers to watch. Patrick coming across the line. He'll jump up into P8. What about Patrick? Or what about Asif? Will Asif go ahead and make his way into the next stage of qualifying as well? So it's going to be Abhishek. He's going to be the driver to kind of watch here. Or sorry, Salmons is going to be another driver to watch here. Because Salmons is in the drop zone. Come across the line now. He will not improve, so Salmons is safe. Both Mercs are through. Both Alpines are through. And then a crucial fight for the championship win here in Div 5 for the Constructors. It is going to continue on here as we have both drivers from both teams of Mercedes and Alpine moving on into Q3. So we have lost Abhishek, Quicksilver, Nishka, the Governor, and Asif from Q2 as we get ready for our top 10 shootout. Alpine are still continuing their pretty strong form here in qualifying. Once again, we have lost Abhishek, we have lost Quicksilver, we have lost Nishka, we have lost the Governor, and we have lost Asif. And actually, speaking of which, the Governor has actually jumped into the commentary booth. So I guess we're going to do a bit of an impromptu interview. So SJ, just what happened out there on track to get eliminated in Q2?
Hey Marcus, yeah, 3 weeks of no racing, a little bit rusty. So yeah, I thought I did all right in Q1, but yeah, just being a bit easy on the track limits here. You know, Canada is a penalty killer. I said that yesterday in the comms for Division 2. So yeah, a little bit disappointing. I think Nishka's the same as well. So. Yeah, a little bit frustrating, I think, on that one. But we'll have to wait and see what happens in the race.
Yeah, this track is known for its penalties, and I mean it's really difficult because I mean it's a very narrow track. Overtaking isn't super easy. I mean it's not the hardest track to overtake at, but far from the easiest as well. So, what's gonna be the kind of the game plan here for Williams? Because I know you guys are still somewhat in the hunt to try to get P4 in the overalls, or yeah, P4 in the overalls. You guys are gonna be in a tough battle with Alpine and Ferrari, but it is still doable. So, do you guys think you guys can make any forward progress here?
Yeah, I think so. I think Canada's one of those tracks. Anything can happen. Turn two and turn three is going to be interesting. Going into that grass area. That's the problem for track limits, and then also the World Champions at the end there in sector 3. So. I think it's just getting momentum in the first couple of laps and then trying to gauge up what we're going to do. But I'm hearing that tyre wear is pretty bad here. So I don't know if a one-stop's doable. I don't know really at the moment on strategy-wise. We're both on two different types of strategy. So I think it'll be very interesting to see what we'll do. But yeah, both Alpines into Q3, went to Cat and Patrick as well. So that's not good for us, but as you know, anything can happen in the race.
Indeed, and anytime I think about this track, I think about the NAEU race that we had here a couple of months ago, and how pretty much predictably unpredictable that race was, with multiple safety cars, the weather as well. Although luckily for you guys, it doesn't seem that weather is going to be a factor here in this one. It looks like it's going to be pretty much sunny and dry for the race here. Are you expecting that to change, or are you expecting just the weather to kind of stay as it is right now?
Fine. The question is when. That's going to be the icing on the cake. When is it going to happen? It's if the game's broken, then we could get rain on lap 5 or lap 10. If the game's not broken, then we will probably not see any rain, and we might just miss it at the end. But if the safety car changes things, it slows everything down, we could see a little bit, which would mix things up a little bit, which would make it quite interesting. But as you know, I've done Canada in the NA race as well, and I did quite well after being pummeled in the hairpin. So yeah, it's going to be interesting, and I do like this track. I think it's I'm glad to have it back as well on the calendar. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to being back as well.
Indeed, yeah, because like you said earlier, this is your first race back in about 3 weeks. So I mean, it'll be fun watching to see how you do, how you and your teammate Nishka tackle this very tricky street circuit. And is there anything you want to say to the viewers before we go to let you go?
Yeah, let's hope for some good points. Only 2 races to go, so this one in China. So yeah, let's have fun, and let's have some clean racing in Division 5.
Indeed, it's still crazy to me that we're already at the penultimate round of the season. Like, time flies, man. It's crazy.
It is. I'm still shocked as well. 3 weeks in the UK, and then I'm back, and there's only 2 races to go. But we know what the system is for next season. We know what is going to happen with the new game.
Sorry to interrupt there, but Patrick had a very snappy moment there coming out of turn 9 and ended up knocking off an end plate.
Yeah, like I said, we know what was happening with the game, with the DLC. So yeah, it gives us a bit of easy on planning. But yeah, season 10's ready to go. So it's just team principles to be announced and get the season over and done with, and that's it.
All right, well, thanks for jumping on into the commentary booth. Best of luck to you and your teammate in today's race, and maybe we'll see you in the booth for, well, I think you're doing comms later on this week, but maybe we'll see you for a podium. We'll see.
We won't count on it, but cheers, Vekas. Enjoy comms.
Thank you. Alright, so that was SJ jumping in for an impromptu interview as a lot of drivers set their initial laps. It's always good to hear from the boss man returning from vacation and jumping straight into his Williams seat to go ahead and try to go and make some progress here. So, and from what I am hearing from our Twitch chat meteorologist is that it is rain expected at the end, but it will be intermediate at most. So we will not see the full wet tires being used. Which, I mean, I know the full wet tires are a really tricky tire to use. I mean, even real life F1 doesn't like using them. So, Winter Cat now going to come across the line into provisional pole position here in our final quality session of the night. As Donut Gorilla would set a lap time, and it looks like it would be a pretty decent one, but it is invalid. He did cross track limits. SJ said it. I mean, this track, and I've said it before here tonight, that it's a very tough track for penalties in particular. So track limits are going to be the absolute leader of lap times here. They're going to absolutely just ruin your night. And expect some actual 3-second penalties in the race as well. So, once again, these guys are all fighting it out here, trying to score as much as they can in the overalls. Because for a lot of drivers and teams, that is pretty much where the focus is now. Trying to go ahead and bolster the results in the overalls. Because, I mean, it's still all to play for here. Not a lot of rounds left to go, though. It's 2 rounds, really, now. So, you got Canada and you got China. Then that's Season 9 done and dusted. Season 10, Season X, whatever we're going to call it. I think it's just going to be Season 10. But we will be on F1 25 still, as F1 26 will not exist. It'll be a DLC, like SJ said. EA Codemasters have opted to kind of go the WRC route with the F1 game and kind of do a DLC instead of just making an entire new game, which could be for the best, as Donut Gorilla still has invalidated again. So we'll jump back over to Husey. I want to know your guys' thoughts when it comes to the 2026 DLC. Are you guys a big fan of it? You guys not a fan of it? Some things you want to see, some things you don't want to see. What are you guys' thoughts for the 2026 DLC season? And also, while these drivers are going ahead and going through a lap, who are you guys rooting for in the Formula One World Championship? Are you hoping Lando Norris secures his first? Are you hoping Max does the what would have been impossible a few months ago and secure that 5th title in a row? That record equaling statistic with Michael Schumacher for most titles in a row? Or are you hoping that Oscar Piastri goes ahead and gets his first world title? I want to know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Go ahead and get amongst it. Will he hit 30? We will see. Oh, for pens. Oh, who was it in Div 1 that got every penalty in the book? I want to say it was like Campbell Adams. I think he got like, I think it was close to about 25 seconds of pens. So we're seeing some support for Oscar. I figure Oscar would be a pretty popular choice considering that this is an Oceanic League first and foremost. So obviously you guys got to root for the hometown driver. And honestly, for the longest time, I was actually rooting for Oscar as well to win the title. I do want to see Max win the championship. So like for me personally, it would go Max, Oscar, then Lando in that order. It would be really cool to see Piastri win it, but his form in the middle of the season just unfortunately, or actually towards like the end of the season, wasn't super great until Qatar. But I mean, I'm glad we're actually just going all the way to Abu Dhabi. That's my biggest thing. But I mean, once again, it'll be an interesting season. But just because the F1 season has ended doesn't mean you'll miss out on any Formula One related action. As I mean, before you know it, the season's gonna be back on the way. But you still have us here at Rush Racing League. The reserve program will still be around, I believe. I think there's going to be about a week or 2 of an off-season break, maybe 3 weeks at the most. And even then, the preseason races will probably still be in effect as well. So, I mean, once again, you guys won't have to wait super long for action, and just like we won't have to wait super long to see who will be starting from the front of the field here in this Canadian Grand Prix. Moe Nab's now making his way through the circuit as he's going to go ahead and continue to race on here and try to go ahead and get a good qualifying position to add to Aston Martin's lead in the overalls. And it's going to be an absolute fight. Seeing a lot of people saying that a lot of people actually really wanting Max to win it, and so far I haven't seen anyone rooting for Orlando, which I can't say I'm surprised really, but I know drivers are going to be rooting, or people are going to be rooting for their drivers here, rooting for their team. We'll see where Moe comes across the line. It'll be P6 for the Aston Martin. And now can Donut Gorilla get a good time on the board for the Tifosi? He's going to go and make his way through turns numbers 3 and 4, and a bit of a brush of the wall there in Sector 1. We'll see if that impacts him any. No more eliminations. This will go ahead and set our entire top 10 on the field. Less than 30 seconds to go, and it's all going to be on the line here. Donut is going to continue on here. Donut and Patrick are the last drivers who have yet to set a lap time here. And it's going to be close. I think everybody's got one last shot. And Kumar actually might not make it across the line. Kumar will not make it across the line. He will not go for another lap. He got so close yet so far away. And now we're going to see Wintercat. Is he going to improve any? He does improve by about a tenth. What about Donut? Can Donut jump in there? He's going to come across the line. It's good enough for 5th. What about Patrick? Where does Patrick go in all this? Can he get closer to his teammate that's in professional pole? No, he will stay in P10. Hughes is jumping up to 2nd. Symphonic now invalidated, so his qualifying is done. Daz is done. What about the champion? What about Dutch Verstappen? Is he going to go ahead and... let's see if he's going to do it. Dutch Verstappen across the line. Good enough for P3. And that is qualifying done and dusted here tonight. After a very intense qualifying session too. I mean, just tires are kind of switching all over the place. But Wintercat has dominated the qualifying session. Can he bring that same level of pace to the Grand Prix itself for 35 laps? We'll just have to see. Qualifying is about getting that one good lap, but you got to put 35 consistent ones together to get a win here. Got to worry about safety cars. Got to worry about the potential weather, which is expected around the end of the race. So there we go. Qualifying is done and dusted here. And we have our top 10 for the Canadian Grand Prix. So it is going to be Wintercat to Hughesy to Dutch Verstappen, Symphonic, Daz, Donut Gorilla, Moe Nabs, Kumar, Salmon, and Patrick rounding out our top 10 here tonight. So it is going to be a fast and furious race here. Going to be a lot of drivers fighting in. And Alpine having another really strong result here. Can they convert it though is the question. Alpine hunting for P3 in the overalls. They're going to be fighting with Ferrari, and they're also hunting for the Constructors Championship here in Div 5. So once again, it's still so much to play for. The only championship here that has been decided is the drivers. So I think now it's just really going to be a fight for the overalls. Drivers are going to have to fight tooth and nail to get these positions on a track where overtaking is not easy. It is not an easy task to get the overtakes here as drivers try to get ready for the strategy. The one stop is still going to be optimal, but SJ hinted that some drivers might be attempting the 2-stop this time around. So we'll see if it is a two-stop, it's probably going to be medium hard, probably will be the stint, or I don't see anyone taking 2 sets of hard tires into this, quite honestly, but we have seen stranger things happen in racing. We have seen absolute carnage. We've seen some dominant drives and then drives from the back to the front. So we've seen pretty much everything here as we are getting ready to go for the penultimate Grand Prix of the season there in Canada. It's going to be a doozy of a race here, folks, so go ahead and get strapped in. Make sure you have some water. Hydration is important. It may not be in the summertime anymore for a good portion of the globe, but water is still very important. It's very easy to get dehydrated here. And here we go. We have those 5 red lights coming up on the gantry. And it is lights out and away we go here. And drivers are going to fight tooth and nail for all these positions. And here we go. Husey is going to go ahead and fight. Donut Grill losing a handful of positions. We will to try to get him back invited as soon as the lap 1 action does go through. And we're seeing some drivers shuffling around. Oh, we have an issue in the back, and there's drama at the back. Bender and David having some issues here. And that is the lap 1 drama that we knew was going to happen at some point. Bender, David getting into it. And maybe H-Town was involved as well. We're going to go to try to get Donut invited really quickly. And there we go. Donut has been sent an invite. And there's been some drama here in the opening stages of the Grand Prix. And now we are seeing some good hard racing here. Coming into lap number 2. And oh, that's a moment for the champion! Dutch Verstappen biting the wall of champions. DRS is enabled. And that is a rough spot to knock your front wing off completely. So Dutch Verstappen almost out. And actually there's a few drivers in the pits. Asif into the pits, Milano into the pits, Bender into the pits. So a lot of drivers going ahead and getting new wings and new tires. So there we go. So right now, Husey and Wintercat have pulled away from the rest of the field here, as drama has kicked off here in the penultimate round of the season. Husey now trying to close in the gap. He goes a bit deep into the hairpin, probably due to a little bit of dirty air. And there's the strategies right there. It is likely going to be a 2-stop here. Potentially even, according to the Amazon stuff. Oh, what has happened here? It's a VSC. SJ has absolutely rammed straight into the back of, I think it's an Abhishek. So Abhishek, yeah, he's going really slow now. So I mean, it's a virtual safety car, which will slow down the field. And he is missing an entire right side of his wing. So he's going to come into the pits with Donut following him in behind. I think Donut also might have been involved in the incident. So a lot of drama and a lot of damage here in the opening stages. And it's a double stack for Ferrari. And both Ferraris actually having to get a front wing replacement. So this is very bad news for the Tifosi. Good news for Alpine. For the what would be the Italian version or the French version of the Tifosi? Would anyone know that off the top of their head? But we are back racing, and Husey just got caught up by the Delta, and he's got a drive-through penalty. Wow, I mean this race is off to one of the starts of all time, I must say. Pretty dramatic here. 5 penalties already, so we're gonna see Husey coming into the pits to serve that penalty. Symphonic, I think, maybe having wing damage. or did he also get hit for that as well? So I think a few drivers actually got hit for the, yeah, so once again, we're seeing penalties just fly on through. Symphonic going to drop down the order. Both drivers getting a drive-through due to the VSC infringement. Mostly just getting caught out by the Delta, and now Wintercat's got a really good gap here in the lead of the race. We're going to check in with Kumar, who's trying to chase down Salmons. And we're going to take a look at the tires. Everybody is on at the moment, because I believe everybody is done with the pit stops. Around the outside goes Kumar. Kumar up in the 4th position, which would be a fantastic finish for Haas if they could pull it off. A lot of drivers starting on the mediums. So here's the tires that we have at the moment. And a lot of drama. I think even more drama. Here's Milano, I think, has had an issue here towards the back. His car still looks like it's in one piece, thankfully, but it's been a dramatic start here. I mean, there's just been contact, accidents, and pretty much everything you can think of just all throughout the race. That's what's on the fast lap of the Grand Prix, as now we have Husey trying to chase down the governor, and even more drivers coming into the pit. So Winter, what happened with the Alpine? I guess the Alpine just opted to switch to a set of medium, so a weird race, admittedly. Actually, I might have just been, I think I actually might just be seeing things. Taking a look at the penalties now. 13 seconds for the governor, 3 for Bender, and then 10 for Symphonic. And yeah, I mean, there's just so much drama happening here. Wintercat right on the back of Mail. We'll see if he can go and get the move done here. Wintercat's going to try to look for something. Trying to maybe get a switchback, but the Sauber kind of blocks that attempt. He will get DRS though. The Sauber head doesn't have DRS. And the Alpine is going to go ahead and fire it all through. Nishka is out! And that is a full safety car. That Williams is in a million pieces. Into the wall. That car does not look healthy. And now we're seeing a few other drivers make their way into the pits. And the camera just isn't a fan of H-Town at this point, apparently. ASIF gets a penalty for speeding under the safety car, and everything is just kicking off here. Patrick gets a penalty for speeding under a safety car. I mean, ACF has the same penalty, so I mean, it is just drama happening all throughout the field. I mean, this graph just kind of says everything, really, just how many positions have swapped around here. I mean, Mail is up 13 positions in his Alpine, or his Kick Sauber, chasing an Alpine. Yeah, just, I mean, I think I'm echoing the sentiment of everybody when I say, what happened? Now, and it's crazy too, because in the blink of an eye, a majority of the field went from running the medium tires to the hard tires. So, I mean, it's crazy stuff here in this race. I mean, we're only 6 laps in, guys. And now we're seeing a lot of other drivers make it into the pits. So, drivers trying to flex their flexibility here for tire strategies. We'll see how this flexibility works here in Canada. It didn't work for McLaren in Qatar in the real world, but we'll see if it works out here for some of these teams here in Div 5. Yeah, I mean, this is an interesting one, I will say. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go and take a quick step away. Go to grab some water, guys. Grab some drinks, and we'll come back when the safety car comes back into the box, and when we go racing, we will be right back. Alright guys, we are back and waiting to go here. The safety car does come back in this lap. And then we will just have to see how the one plays out. The clouds are starting to come in. Rain might hit the track sooner than expected. The track will go when Wintercat decides to punch it here. I mean, he really can wait till the chicane before going for it. Mail is looking to get a good jump here. They go through the chicane, and Wintercat puts down the hammer. And we are racing again here in Canada, lap 10 out of 35. Right about a third of the way through the Grand Prix. And now the drivers are making their way through. We've made it through turn 1. There was talks about the session being red flag. Thankfully for everybody involved, the red flag did not come to pass. As now Winter is going to try to run away from Mail here. But it gets a 3-second time penalty for track limit violation. So that is another addition to his penalty counter. As we are watching these guys go ahead and just give it everything here. And I mean, once again, these guys are absolutely trying to duke it out for position here. Using it not too far behind, is trying to get a move done onto Mail. He wants to try to reclaim that P2. Mail does have a penalty just up the road ahead. We'll bring up the penalties again. Got about a 3-second penalty here. Two drivers do have drive-throughs that they need to serve, I think, within a lap or so. A mysterious yellow flag showed up ahead. I think whatever was causing said yellow did get resolved, as DRS is now enabled this lap, so these guys are now going to be able to give it everything they've got here. And I mean, it's going to be a bit of a DRS train. Mail actually did lose out on said DRS, so he won't have it against Wintercat, as this will open the door for Husey and Salmons behind to potentially get some really good moves here, trying to bolster their position. As Husey is still trying to close in the gap, Salmon's also got a gap himself to close, as these guys are absolutely just going to try to either buy the time or absolutely send it. And here we go. The massive DRS zone here is coming up. Mail once again not close enough to the DRS. And this is going to give Husey and the cars behind a good opportunity. So we might see that Sauber, who is made up over a dozen positions, potentially lose one of those positions. Going to get close. Going to try to maybe swing for a move. The two teammates will swap positions here. And I think that whether that was orchestrated or not, I think Sandwich kind of got the worst end of that, because out of DRS range and into the range of Daz, who's looking pretty punchy here at this stage of the race. He does have 10 seconds of penalties though, so he's gonna definitely want to get those cleared up and try to go ahead and fight that regardless. But yeah, it's a pretty clean restart here to kick things off back at the Canadian Grand Prix, as Asif gets a penalty for speeding in the pit lane while serving, I think, his drive-through. So rough times here for the Red Bull. And yep, his drive-through has been served. I think Patrick also just served his as well not too long ago. So cars are back out on track. Husey did get the move done, and now he's gonna be the one under pressure, because now they're about 3 seconds away from Wintercat. Wintercat trying to go ahead and put Alpine in a really good spot. I mean, the Ferraris are having a rough day of things. Alpine is having a bit of a mixed bag, side by side, coming into the corner for the Sauber and McLaren. I think they made a bit of contact coming through turns 12 and 13. They will sort it out, but that allows Dutch Verstappen to get a move done onto the kick Sauber. As now Dutch Verstappen, oh look at this! Look at Mail. Mail is trying to go ahead and get in there. He's going to go to try to get some positions here. Kumar gets past Salmons. Kumar's having a fantastic run. As soon as I say that, it's a 3-second time penalty for the Haas driver. Oh, commentator's curse in full effect. And you got, ooh, Mail is getting pretty punchy here. He's got to be careful not to kick somebody into the wall as he's trying to kick it up into high gear. He's lost a couple of positions on the restart though. Other Granson, take a look at his tires. He is on the oldest tires on the field, aside from Husey and Wintercat. And Salmon's going to try to go for the overtake here, and he's going to get it, but the switchback between him and Mail is going to make a run down to the line. And here we go. They're going to go ahead and just drag race. It's a bit of a drag race between the two. It looks like the Sauber is going to win. The Sauber will remain in a P5 at the moment. But we know Salmons is going to definitely try to push and try to get some moves done here at this stage. And look at this. Salmons trying to get the inside. And there's contact and a spin. Contact and a spin. Oh, there's more drama. More drama in the backfield. More contact. And how that didn't even lead to a VSC, I'm not sure. End plates are flying here. Drama's happening. Moe gets a 3-second penalty for track limits, trying to do some evasive action. That one might get removed post-race, but man, things are kicking off here. things are just kicking off here in ways I wasn't expecting. I mean, there's so much drama. Now Dutch Verstappen trying to close in the gap to the McLaren up ahead. And the McLaren is going to try. Oh, a bit of a slow hairpin there for Husey. Dutch Verstappen should get this one done and dusted. He's going to fire up the DRS, but look behind. Kumar's having a fantastic race. And the McLaren and the Mercedes touch. And there's more drama here. Safety car is out. Kumar's up into third and Verstappen into the pits. And it is P3 and 4 for the American team. And things are just getting spicier. And Daz is out. So that is retirement number 2. He'll call it in the pits. I was just seeing a flurry of activity here. So Husey and Wintercat are definitely going to pit in probably this lap. I would think. Because those tires are probably dead or close to dead, I would say. But I would probably pit in, honestly, if I were these guys. I mean, it's a free pit stop. Your pit stops are in a much better position time-wise than they would be in other situations. So pitting right now would be probably the best call for these guys. I mean, man, what a dramatic race that we've had here so far. I mean, quite a few positional changes. H-Town up 11, Kumar up 5, Salmon's up 4, Milano up 6. And then we have some on the other end of the spectrum. Daz down 14 and out. Patrick down 7. Dutch Verstappen down 9, although he just made a pit stop. And yep, here we go. We're about to see Wintercat and Husey coming into the pits now. High pressure pit stop for these guys. And they go, and they get held up ever so slightly, but they're going to come back out onto the racing circuit. And Symphonic leads the Grand Prix here as we are almost halfway through. And Bender gets another penalty. Oh, you gotta feel for the guy there. That is 9 seconds of penalties here on the night. And I mean, the Canadian GP is a very difficult track. But man, I wasn't expecting it to be this dramatic and have this many incidents. Wasn't expecting 2 safety cars in the first half of it either. So once again, that just proves the point that myself and SJ made earlier on, is that anything can happen in sim racing or any form of racing for that matter, sim or real life motorsports. I mean, what a crazy Grand Prix it's been so far. Safety car will go around for another lap, as Symphonic does lead us here. So safety car will come in probably next lap, I would imagine, maybe lap 18 at the latest, and we'll be right around halfway through. But yeah, once again guys, man, this has been a crazy one. Crazy Grand Prix indeed. And you gotta feel for some of these guys as well. Here's the tires once again, by popular demand. And we'll just see how these guys actually just manage these tires, because a lot of these guys are on the older hard tire. Everybody, with the exception of Mayo and Milano, are on the hard tires. And man, oh man. I'm still trying to process what happened. I mean, this has just been a very difficult one and a very chaotic race, as well, as we will know here pretty soon if the safety car will be peeling on in, or if we're going to go for another lap and Hopefully we can start it at the beginning of 18. Safety car is coming in this lap, so that will exactly be the case. Symphonic will lead the field to green. And he's got a bit of a mountain of a task to try to get those hards to the end of the GP. It's doable, but it is going to be difficult. So, I mean, once again, drama might be afoot here. Rain is still within the realm of potential at the moment. It's supposed to be on the end of the Grand Prix, but with things being slowed down due to 2 different safety cars, or a safety car and then a VSC. So actually, yeah, a safety car or 2 safety cars and a VSC have made things pretty tricky here, as we're gonna see when Symphonic has opted to go, and he's already going. Husey gets a 3-second time penalty for track limit violations. And once again, just another layer of drama. Just more and more of it. I mean, once again, here's the penalties for you guys. Just 2 more get added. As a Moe and Gorilla and Mail get added penalties. Whew, come on guys. We're about halfway through this race and there's still penalties flying around. It's like we have the Canadian Oprah Winfrey here in our session. You get a penalty, you get a penalty, you get a penalty. Everybody getting penalties here in this one. Absolutely insane penalty round of the season. I mean, and then you gotta think, we have China next up. Which China's another track where just insane things are likely to happen in China. So, I mean, that's just another thing to kind of think about as well. China's next. That'll be the final round of the season. And yeah, things are just gonna go ahead and all side by side. Donut and H-Town. Incident will be avoided between the 2. And now we're seeing some drag racing here. Dutch Verstappen trying to get a move done. He'll go up the inside. Inside becomes the outside. A little bit of a touch and go there, which does slightly tip Verstappen. But he will hold on and make sure that Mercedes is still facing in the correct direction as the Mailboy gets another 3-second time penalty. I mean, if the rain is coming, then if you're one of these guys up at the front who are running that older tire, I mean, you got to think about it here. As Verstappen tries to get past H-Town, he tries and he succeeds. He is up into P5 now, and now he's going to want to go chasing after David. But I mean, they're going to have to pit again at some point. But if you're these guys up here, if you're our top 4, and then H-Town and Gorilla, you want to wait till it's kind of like the last possible moment. I think they might try to hold out for the rain, but I mean, if that rain doesn't show up, then they're just going to be kind of stuck with a tire that's practically about to explode right out from under them. So, and we don't want to see any punctures here. As much as I would spice the race up, ideally no punctures. But man, this has been I told you guys this was going to be a doozy of a Grand Prix, and boy, I was not expecting, because of this reason where we had so many penalties, safety car, shenanigans, tomfoolery, a little bit of trickery, a little bit of Husey getting another time penalty. I mean, it's just it's all par for the course here in Canada, but it's all really, really crazy to kind of just witness. Salmon's now trying to close the gap to Symphonic. Try to put that Mercedes back onto the top step of the podium. Gonna go good onto the brakes. And then he's gonna make his way through the hairpin. And then try to go in and fight and try to close the gap back to Symphonic. He does have the DRS, but he's way too far back to really go for a move here. As Dutch Verstappen has been on a tear. Here he will get past David. And now he's going to go after Moe. He's on the fresh tire, so he's in a good spot. Oh, drama, here's another safety car potentially. Donut's facing the wrong direction. He will get the car spun back around. That happened right around the wall of champions. H-Town and Milano getting more penalties. And man, we just can't catch a break here, can we? I mean, wow. Just wow. I mean, I'm actually at a loss of words. I mean, this has just been chaotic, to say the least, really. Um, Symphonic has made his pit stop. He'll go on a fresh set of rubber. Mayo gets another penalty added to him. Here's the penalties again. I mean, there a lot of people have 3 seconds. The most I'm seeing here is 12. 12 seconds for Mayo. So a bit of a rough go on debut for the Sauber. As once again, David is just trying to go do everything he can. He's in a really good spot. He's actually in podium contention here in this Grand Prix with a little over 10 laps to go. And I mean, this has been crazy, guys. I will just go ahead and say that right now. This has been a crazy, crazy run. As Dota gets a 10-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane, and he's going to call it quits. That'll be retirement number 3 on the evening. I mean, this is just amazing racing here, but very, very chaotic racing, admittedly. So we'll just kind of see if we can keep it clean from here to the checker flag. I'm honestly not too sure at this rate, but what I do know is that Patrick is going to try to close into the back of Bender. He's going to give the old car try. He's going to fire up the DRS here in a few corners time, and then he'll have a decent shot. Oh, look up ahead. Oh, there's drama. Kumar dropping down. Bender having to take the outside line to get a move. And I think it was actually like half move, half avoiding action. And now Bender is right on the back of the McLaren of H-Town. H-Town also having DRS, so it's not going to help the V-Carb's case, as Bender wants to try to get a pass here. But the McLaren also getting DRS range just from the car ahead. Trying to fight to close in the gap with ASIP so he can keep the DRS, but it's not been. Doesn't look like it's going to be possible at this stage. So, I mean, yeah, once again, this has just been a chaotic one. Kumar gets a 3-second time penalty. He will go up to 6 seconds of time penalties here on the Grand Prix, which can now try to close in on the Governor. Remember, Alpine and Williams are rivals in the overalls. They're close. SJ trying to fight that car through the corner, and now they're going to make their way down this massive DRS zone straight. And that's going to be as easy as you'd like it. Milano is out as well. He's retired in the pit, so we have lost 4 drivers here at the moment. We have lost a Williams, a Sauber, a Ferrari, and an Aston Martin. So once again, 2 contenders for the best prize in Rush Racing League, the overall championships. 2 of those main contenders are out of the race. A Mailboy gets another 3-second penalty. He is up to 15 seconds of time penalties. We'll just see if that record currently held by Husey can be changed. Will we see a new record here from Mailboy? We will just have to find out. Battle up here at the front. It's the 2 Mercedes teammates looking to clinch the title here in Div 5. And with this result, I believe they will clinch it. So here we go. We're actually going to go ahead and take an onboard lap with our Div 5 champion. And we're going to step away and allow you to enjoy the sound of the V6 Turbo Hybrid. And we'll be right back as the champion goes ahead and gets past Salmon's here. And oh, would you look at that, a VSC. Bender is out. I think that was a contact with Patrick? Let me check the race director again. Let me scroll through. I mean, look at this, everybody. This is how many incidents we've had here today. It's still going on. So, yeah. Patrick did get a 10-second time penalty for a severe collision with Bender. And that is a VS. Oh, no, that's a full safety car again. So, I think there's only one more full safety car that can actually show up here. But, man, just what a dramatic race here today. Oh, my. Well, this does open the window for anybody who still needs to pit. Anyone who does need to make that second stop here in the Grand Prix, you got a pretty good chance to do it. So yeah, here we go. We're going to see a lot of these guys coming into the pits. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and take my own advice. And go to get some hydration. So we're going to go ahead and step away, guys, real quick once again. While these cars get kind of packed up on the safety car. Go to grab some water, grab some snacks, and we'll be right back, alright? See you guys in a bit. Alright guys, hopefully you guys got some hydration in your system. I know energy drinks may taste good, but you definitely need to get that proper hydration in your system. And we have lost 6 drivers in this race. We have lost Mail, Bender, Milano, Donut, Daz, and Nishka here today. So we have lost quite a few drivers. We're going to go and take a look at some positions as the safety car is coming in at the end of the lap. And we will see who can win this one, because honestly, I think this door is pretty much wide open. I mean, honestly, we'll look at the tires real quick. Honestly, I think this is anybody's game, really, so. I don't know who I'd predict as a race winner, to be honest, because I think it's almost, like, it's going to be, you know, we'll throw the prediction out there as the safety car gets going. But yeah, I mean, this is gonna be really wild here to see. Safety car is in now, and away we go. And there's already a penalty on the restart here, so we're just gonna have to see, because honestly, this could be a really spicy one here all the way to the end with about 7 laps to go. And everything's going to go ahead and kick off here. Just going ahead and get this prediction ready to go here. And I mean, so far it's been good racing here. So we'll see if this will continue on, as these guys try to jockey for position here in the opening stages. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and fire in the prediction. We'll give it about 5 minutes. The prediction is into the chat. Go ahead and get amongst it, get those channel points ready so you guys can start picking tracks for next season. So it'll be interesting, as there's already about a near change for position. Symphonic having a bit of a rough exit out of turn 14 or turn 13. DRS is enabled. He's lost some positions. He's lost a position out to Dutch and almost lost one out to Wintercat. The prediction is into the chat. Go ahead and get amongst it, everybody. Go ahead and vote for who you think is going to win here in the Grand Prix. 6 laps to go. And it's already drivers trying to fight for a position here. Dutch Verstappen trying to close in on the governor, trying to fight it out. A driver who, at the end of Q2, said it wasn't likely for a podium, but this man might just be Carlos Sainz, because he is potentially putting that Williams into a podium spot. There's the car off track. It is Wintercat off the track. And at this stage, Mercedes will be your Constructors champions in Div 5 if the race finishes as it is right now. And it's just going from bad to worse for Wintercat. Husey does go on through. Dutch Verstappen is going to have the slipstream. He's going to have the DRS. And not much resistance put up there from the Williams man of the governor. Symphonic gets a 3-second time penalty. Husey gets another one. Verstappen is going to continue to ride away as we got 5 to go here in this very chaotic Canadian Grand Prix. And these guys are once again just going to go ahead and give everything here. So it is once again just everything on full display as we take another glance at the penalties. And I mean, this is pretty much Dutch Verstappen's race to lose at this point. So it'll be a difficult one, to say the least. Difficult to say who's going to win this one. Salmon's going to go ahead and try to watch these two. As Symphonic and Governor are trading position. Symphonic off the track. The Governor will get back through. Salmon's right behind, though. Salmon's is going to try to make a move here. He's going to hold on. He's going to try to go deep. Try to get a move done up the inside of the hairpin. He does. And there's a domino effect of contact. Stemming. Oh, no. Symphonic is out. Symphonic is spun around. Into the wall he goes. And Haas was having such a good start to the night. and just gets punted around. The governor had to check up there, and then it collected ASIF and Symphonic in the process, so that one will likely be noted. And here we go, ASIF. Oh, I think Winter got a bit of a touch on the inside against ASIF there. He will get through, I think. Oh no, they're going side by side. And this is a really difficult part to go side by side through. They're going to go single file again. Everybody just really trying to get as much as they can through this part of the track. I mean, Winter Guy does get the pass. Is he going to stick, though? It's going to be inside, becomes outside. He's going to get it. But then there's a bit of a slide there. Asif and Husey duke it out. Kumar is going to try to go back through. Kumar back up into the top 5. And more chaos, more drama, more contact. Asif going up the inside. Contact again between the Haas and the Red Bull. And, it's almost scary. Almost. I mean, this is scary stuff, honestly. Probably even more scary from the cockpit of the car. Asif is having more penalties added on. So here we go. 3 to go here on the night. It's a Mercedes 1-2 at the moment. Mercedes looking to lock out the Constructors Championship with a round to spare. And here we go. Husey now trying to go ahead and lock in, try to get past Winter, but he's got so many penalties. Abhishek does have the fastest lap, so he'll get a point for that. Drivers really trying to give it all they got here. Sammons and Dutch go ahead and swap positions here. And these two are probably just going to work together to start running away from the rest of the field. It looks like they've already done so. Wintercat is going to try to go for a move onto the governor. And Moe gets a penalty. Wildcat around the outside. SJ up the inside. And there's plenty of space given there. And the position will go Wintercat's way. But man, these guys are fighting out here, aren't they? So I guess we got to kind of decide driver of the day. Husey will get the move done onto the governor. Although there's penalties at play, so the governor will likely gain that position back. Quicksilver will go ahead and get a 3-second time penalty for track limit violations. I mean, man, this is honestly just breathtaking how intense this race was here. In terms of driver of the day, I'm going to give it to Salmons. Because, and I think Kumar and Asif are going at it. The two Red Bulls now trying to go into jockey for position here. So I think I'm going to give it to Salmons because he's had a really good race here today. And as a reserve, potentially getting a win as a reserve is really impressive. He's up 8 positions as well. So I think Salmons is a pretty good candidate for driver of the day, even if he doesn't win. And the Red Bull ball parking the bus there. As we're about to begin the final lap of the race here. And this is going to be an absolute battle here. Final lap. The two teammates, the two Mercedes in the lead of the Grand Prix. And it is lap 35 out of 35 here on the night. And here we go. I think we saw maybe the first droplet. If this race had another 4 laps, we would have seen probably the rain come in, but the rain will not come in. And coming through now, Wintercat is going to try to go for a move onto Verstappen, but once again, he's got penalties, and Verstappen doesn't. One of 3 drivers on the track that doesn't have an active penalty. Bit of a wiggle there, and a bit of contact between Winter and Dutch. So these guys are going to go ahead and scrap it out. This is really just for glory at this point. Wintercat does make the dive. He is through. And now he's going to continue on here, and he's going to go ahead and fight it out. And Dutch Verstappen might lose one out to the McLaren of Husey. They're going to go ahead and swap positions here. But now making his way down the straight, and for what might be his first time in Rush Racing League as a race winner, he's only got the final chicane left to navigate. And here we go. He's going to come across the line. And Salmons wins the Canadian Grand Prix. And pandemonium. It'll be a 1-2 for Mercedes. Mercedes are your Division 5 Constructors Champions of the World. And it has been a nigh flawless season for Mercedes here in Div 5. The Drivers' Championship and the Constructors. It is done and dusted here for Mercedes. What a job that this team has done here today. Wintercat will round out the podium today. Driver of the day does go to Salmons. And what a race it has been. It's been a chaotic one. It's been a race of attrition, but it is Mercedes on top of the drivers and now the constructors. Now they turn their attention to trying to replicate the same success in the overalls. The celebrations will go live, and it has been a tough race for these guys. And I know these guys are ready to go ahead and get a breather. So we are going to go ahead and jump straight into things here. But fastest lap does go to Abhishek. Driver of the day is Salmons, with the cleanest driver going to H-Town. So H-Town getting the cleanest driver award on the day. And then we're going to run through our results here really, really quickly. So Salmons does win here, followed by his teammate. And then we have Wintercat, the governor, David, Husey, Quicksilver, Kumar, H-Town, Patrick, Moe Nabs, Asif, and then Abhishek, Symphonic. And then we have our retirees of Mailboy, Bender, Milano, Donut, Daz, and Nishka. So that is going to be the end of the Grand Prix, but now we're going to jump straight to interviews. We do have the Div 5 champion with us here. We're going to wait just a bit to see if we can get anyone else. We will just have to go ahead and see. We're just going to go ahead and see if we can get these guys in. But, I mean, that was a very, very chaotic race. Alright, so we will have P3 joining us here. We're actually going to go ahead and kick things off here. We do have Dutch Verstappen here in the booth, our driver who finished in P2. So, I mean, Dutch, a very chaotic race here today. But it was a race where you guys clinched the Constructors Championship here in Div 5. How do you guys feel?
Fucking awesome. Sorry for that. But yeah, absolutely stunning. P7s, mate, great job. That's what I expected from you anyway. Yeah, it was in the chaotic race with 2 wing damage. 2 red wings to replace it. Lucky it was once in the safety car, and the other one that was 100 meter for the pit lane. That was a little bit lucky that it was not too much damage then. But yeah, I found my rhythm back, and yeah, and at the end, T7's let pass, and absolutely he deserved to win today. This was a last minute call that he jumped in for the reserve, and that we now the Constructors Championship. I think it's in the back, and pretty happy with that.
Indeed, yeah. I mean, you guys had a really good season. You guys got pretty much everything you would have wanted here in Div 5. You guys got the Drivers and the Constructors Championship. I know you guys are ecstatic about that one. Last question I'll ask you before I let you go, Dutch. Actually, 2 final questions. How do you think you're going to do in China next week as the season finale gets closer?
Oh, China. It's okay. But it's just a fun race for us. We'll see. But I would have a little thank you for your great commentary as well for this season. And also I want to thank my TP, Vettel, as a young TP. Well done. And also my teammate I can't congratulate him much. Keiki is unfortunate he couldn't make it today, but yeah, he did a great season. We did an absolutely amazing partnership in the team. And also my coach Brendan Lee, we got a lot of lessons from him. We really stepped up my pace. I'm really thankful for that. And yeah, our goals is reached now, and yeah, I'm stoked with the championship and the constructors. You can't go better.
Indeed, now with 1 week to go, you guys got to go chase for the overalls now. But with that being said, once again, congratulations on the podium and the Constructors Championship, and we'll see you next week in China.
Thank you, mate. See you next week.
All right, we're going to go from P2 to P3 here tonight. We're going to have Wintercat jump on in. Now, Wintercat, once again, I want to get your opinion on the absolutely chaotic race we've had here in Canada.
Yeah, it was a bit chaotic. I thought I had at the start, I had like a 3-second gap going onto my first stop. Went for the one stop. It did kind of work until that third safety car, where I was told to box again. But yeah. And then on that final laps, I went into the back of Dutch and got a bit of damage, but it wasn't marginal. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know you guys were, until tonight, or until really just now, you guys were still kind of in the hunt for the Constructors Championship here, mathematically anyway. But you guys still did crucially outscore Ferrari by a good margin, so that is going to help you guys in the overall. So is that where your attention is going to go towards now?
Yes. Our attention is going to go to the overalls. Like, how do I explain this? Just move on, please.
Oh, good. Yeah, I won't make you try to explain it, but yeah. So I mean, I know you and Ferrari, you guys are pretty locked in, pretty close together in the overalls. I mean, you guys potentially could even get McLaren too, depending on how the rest of this week goes, and then obviously in China. How do you feel that your pace is going to be in China? Because you've been on fire ever since you came back.
I feel like it's going to be good. Usually China's like one of my good tracks. I love to drive China. So, yeah. I am going to say this. I will be driving for Alpine in reserve for China.
All right. Well, is there anyone you'd like to give a special thanks or a shout out to here tonight?
Yes. I want to thank Mars for engineering, beautiful engineering. I want to thank Aardvark. I want to thank Patrick, my teammate. He brought some points for us. So, yeah. But, yeah.
All right. Well, once again, congratulations on the podium, and we'll see you next week in China.
Yeah.
All right. Last but most certainly not least, we have Salmons here. Race winner and now joint Constructors champions. How's it going, mate? And is this your first win here in Rush?
I think I had one before, a couple of maybe last season or season before, but a big shout out to Dutch, and thank you, mate, for giving me a chance just as a reserve. And I think we did really well, mate, in that race. Thanks for the win, dude. And congratulations on Mercedes and your championships as well. You've absolutely nailed it. But yeah, it was a great race. And yeah, really enjoyed that. And thanks to Dutch for giving me the win at the end. We were neck and neck. We were pretty quick. But yeah, I didn't want to do anything to Dutch, make sure he was still finishing, make sure both cars got across the line was the most important thing. So, and yeah, I just got lucky for a change there, I think, with the pit stops as well. And then no penalties as well. Just drove at sort of 95% to make sure I didn't get the pens, and yeah, came out on top. So really happy with that.
Yeah, I think it was you two and the Alpina Patrick were the only three cars that didn't have some kind of penalty coming across the line there at the end. So a very well driven race, and once again, you guys clinched the the Constructors championship here tonight. So that 1-2 was exactly what you guys needed. So I know you were brought in as a reserve for this team. Do you think you'll be able to race in China? Is the question.
Yeah, well, I think I'll still be reserving, so whoever needs me, I'll definitely be up for a race in China. Probably not one of my favourite tracks, but I will give it a crack and hopefully get some luck there as well, like we did here. And yeah, looking forward to racing next week again if there's a spot. So, but yeah, really enjoyed that race, and thanks Dutch, and congrats, mate. Couldn't meet a nicer bloke than Dutch and a fairer racer. So yeah, really happy to do that for him, and great comms too, by the way, mate. Thank you. We all appreciate it.
Indeed, and also last thing I will say is, or last question is, I know you're kind of like a free agent reserve driver. Are you gonna attempt to get a full-time seat for this upcoming season?
Yeah, definitely. I think so. Yeah, it just all depends on days and times that I can race. So hopefully it all works out. But yeah, definitely looking for it.
All right, well, once again, congratulations on the race win and also driver of the day as well. Just going to add a little bit of extra to it, and we will potentially see you in China.
Thanks, guys. Good stuff. Cheers.
All right, that's going to wrap things up here for Rush Racing League Division number 5 here in Canada. It was a very tricky race for a lot of drivers. Very chaotic, lots of safety cars, lots of things you really had to worry about. But that is going to wrap things up here for the penultimate round of the season. And I want to thank all of our sponsors here of the league: Sim Racing Center, Pagnian, SimLab, and AI369. Thank you guys all so very much. It has been a fun time here, but we still have one more round to go. The season is going to go ahead and reach its crescendo in China next week. Thank you guys in chat for being as awesome as always. And on behalf of Rush Racing League, my name has been Patrick Coleman, aka Rekus, and I've been your host and commentator for this very, very, very hectic and very spicy Canadian Grand Prix. And tune in next week when we head to China. But before then, we still have quite a few races this week. We still have Div 3 and Div 6 to run through. But other than that, the season is coming to a close here in the next week. So, once again, we'll see you guys next time, and have a good night. Goodbye.